It was really tough. And then I had a friend, a mutual friend of ours, that also at the same time was graduating and wanted to start his own business and be an entrepreneur as well. So I think it was really the push of those two things. He actually approached me and said, hey, do you want to start something together? I had been starting side businesses in college and even one in high school. Nothing serious because I didn't know how to sell. I couldn't gain any traction with revenue. But I liked the idea, like the novelty of it. And so he had kind of noticed that, and I think that's why he approached me on it.
So let's talk about that. So you go to Michigan State University. You've got this background, and your parents are divorced. Dad's moved to Florida. You're on your own, no safety net, and you got to figure out like some sort of career path. Fraternity brother comes to you and says, "Hey man, like let's go start a business. Let's go make some money."
It was literally that way. He's like, "Do you know how to get insurance and file an LLC?" I was like, "Yeah, I can do that."
So he leans on you for the technical and like legal aspects, and then
absolutely.
So talk about the first company, man.
All right,
college painting business, right?
So yeah, it was a college painting. So he had an internship previously, I think for a few years, and I actually worked for him one summer. A few of the fraternity brothers and I both worked for him. So I mean, I was hanging off of 40-foot ladders and like everything that you're not supposed to do in construction and the trades, and like wearing flip-flops to work. And it was just a hot mess, but it was a really fun summer. Didn't really make much money, but got sunshine, got fit. It was a really cool opportunity to work in that realm of business. So I was already exposed to it a little bit. And I knew that the guys that were hustling, like closing the deals, which he was, were making the big bucks. And I was like, man, like that's something I should be doing, but I don't know how to sell. I'm not a sales guy. Yeah, that was a skill set I had no experience in. And so when he approached me, I was like, yeah, let's do this. Like we'll knock it out of the park. We'll just give it our best go. To me, we just graduated. It was the start of summer. It was like early spring. So I thought it was going to be like a summer gig. Maybe I can make a few bucks, save up some money, and then get my job in the fall. So we hit the ground running. He showed me the ropes. He's like, here's how you sell. Here's how you prospect. We're going to go door to door. I watched him do it first, and he just knocked on doors and got rejected. And I was like, this is brutal. I was like, I'm not going to survive this at all. But I'm not a quitter either. By this time, I'm like, this is something I'm going to stick to. The only thing, I was a serial quitter. I used to take piano lessons, violin lessons. I took Japanese, like fun stuff. But when it got really hard, I quit. I was a serial quitter. When I was in high school, I ran cross country. I was a pretty chubby kid. As a teenager, girls wouldn't talk to me. I was self-conscious. And joined cross country. I said, I'm not going to quit no matter what. And so the first 2 years were brutal, but I ended up getting onto the JV team, and I ended up running pretty quickly by senior year. And I was running 6 miles a day in the summer. So that was when I learned how to not quit. And I told myself, I'm going to do this. This is business. This is something I have to keep with. I have to learn. I have to master this. I'm not going to quit no matter what. So I watched him do it, strike out. Then he got the sale. Or, he got the lead. He got the appointment. And then you do appointments after appointment after appointment. Then you get the sale. But when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, it's possible. This is something I can do. And so he watched me do it. And then I did it over and over. And to be honest, for the first, it felt like an eternity. At least the first couple of months, I was horrible. I sucked at door-to-door sales, and I hated every second of it. Literally, he would observe me, and I would knock on the door. Homeowner would peek through the door. Back then, people at least opened their doors. And I would start asking him, like, hey, I noticed that your house needs to be painted. Would you be interested in a free quote to get your house painted? Like, the answer should be yes. But I was like shaking my head no the whole time.
So you're subconsciously.
Obviously, you're not going to want me to come to your door, like give you a quote. So like there's little subtle things you do that you sabotage yourself in doing. So I had to rewire my mind. I had to unlearn those bad habits. And then I started realizing that if you don't quit, you have the right body language, you're confident, you're knowledgeable. I'd learn more and more about the business as I went on. Your success rate starts to increase. And so although it's brutal in the beginning, and it's hard work no matter what, you start to see light at the end of the tunnel. And eventually it started to get fun. I started to realize that if I knock on enough doors, I'm going to sweat my butt off, get some sunshine, get fit. And every no, every rejection is just one more closer to that yes. And when you get it, nothing feels better than getting the win. And that was my exposure to prospecting, to grinding and lead generating. And I've applied that to every other business since.
That's awesome.